Hello, my speech today is over the Endangered Species Act. And so, as of today, many species of tigers, apes, and wolves, amongst many other species, are in danger of one day becoming extinct in our lifetime. As a child, you may have had a favorite animal that you obsessed over, but growing up, you discover that animal is critically endangered. I had this experience myself. Once I lived in Jackson County around the age of 7 or 8 with my parents and my uncle. Um, One day, as I do not remember this, apparently I'd seen a wolf across the street from my house up on top of a hill. And it took my uncle a good few minutes to pull me away. I was mesmerized. And from there, I just became in love with wild animals, or just animals in general. This hurt me. Growing up and learning about the ecology of wolves, I learned that many subspecies of the wolf are endangered. This hurt me and made me curious as to why these gorgeous wild animal populations are suffering, amongst many others. Since then, I have strived to learn about why animals, specifically wolves, being my favorite, are being hunted to near extinction. Therefore, today I would like you to become more informed on the Endangered Species Act of 1973 and the positive and negative attributes of it, and then provide an example of which animal is affected by the Act. Let's begin by defining the Endangered Species Act and what endangered means. A.M. Haynes wrote in the 2013 issue of Animals that the term endangered refers to any species that is in danger of extinction throughout all or a significant portion of its range. So, the Endangered Species Act of 1973 was created so that endangered and threatened species and the ecosystems they depend on could be conserved until they no longer require protection. So, this made plants and invertebrates, such as jellyfish, eligible for protection, prohibits federal agencies from any action that would jeopardize the species or its habitat, and it also allows funding for protected areas or new habitats. Now let's discuss the negative attributes of this act. C. Boyd wrote in the 2017 article of Conservation Letters that the Endangered Species Act does not provide guidance on the levels of extinction risk that should lead to endangered or threatened determinations. So the lack of information may cause issues as to what species are considered dangerous or endangered. Field biologists are responsible for studying a particular species to report, so they may not have all the information they require to make a decision on whether it is possibly endangered or not and whether they need our help. And sometimes even claims of delisting an animal are deemed exaggerated or untrue. There are also many land use control provisions for landowners. So any land, private or public, that is a habitat for endangered animals are subjected to federal land use controls. And landowners rarely gain compensation for the loss of land value. Now let me tell you about a case in which a species was affected by the Act. Written by C. Carroll in the 2006 issue of Bioscience, it is more difficult to define recovery goals for species such as the gray wolf, which have large area requirements for viable populations, and whose protection may conflict with existing land uses such as livestock production. So the wolf, as a keystone species, was historically widespread throughout the western United States, yet whose recovery may conflict with current land use practices, provides an ideal case study in clarifying species recovery goals. So wolves require large territories for the numerous packs, but they also need minimal animal-human interaction due to many humans killing wolves off for being near their livestock or depredating on them. So I hope you all have enjoyed my presentation as it comes to an end while you caught a glimpse of the world of conservation science. Today, I summarized what the Endangered Species Act of 1973 is and what that means for many of our endangered animals. Next time you hear about a species becoming endangered, I want you to be aware that there are a lot of steps to try and help conserve that species. We just need to do the best we can and educate ourselves on the world around us and do what we can to help. Any questions?